Hey traders, in this video I'm going to have a closer look at Tesla, TSLA. I'm going to look a closer look at Toyota Motors, Apple, and also Google. They're the four stocks I'm going to have a closer look in this video. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, so let's have a closer look at Tesla. I'm actually in Tesla myself. I've actually got long-term put options on this, meaning like they long-term simply means like they expire at the end of the year. You know what I mean? Like I'm long-term bearish on Tesla. I may be wrong, I may be right, but it doesn't really matter. I've just got a position. I'm just letting you know. Again, doesn't mean I'm going to be right. And again, I'm not telling you what to trade, okay? But first thing, I want to share with you what I see on Tesla overall, because it's really interesting. Now, that was the daily chart I was showing you just there. And I want to show you this here. Let me show you this here. One thing I want to show you that I look on Tesla overall on this big monthly chart, you can see by looking at this big overall monthly chart that the overall, let's just go line black, you actually had this low, higher low, and in fact, if I just do this, if I step up like that, see, it made a high trough, higher peak, higher trough, higher peak, trough, and then it made a lower peak, and then it made a higher trough, and then it made and then it ran up through there. That was it was probably, is that the lower peak? No, probably the swing low is this one here, right? So you have this lower trough here, and then lower peak here, and then that's what's happening right now. So as you can see, we're slowly stepping down overall, and we hit this resistance level through here, and we break down. So you can see we're overall majorly on the monthly chart. You can see we're majorly stepping down. This is one of the reasons why I believe we're topping out on Tesla, because we're actually getting that type of round pattern, round top, where you're making this high, bit of a double top, and then a lower peak. You know, and if you're looking at that more like a head and shoulder formation, well, too, you have this left here, bit of a double head and a right shoulder, and now the market's going down. So if the market does keep going down where it is right now, and it breaks below this 185 level, then we have a target of 120, and then even as low as back down to 40. Now, I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but that's the targets that I've seen there. If we break this 185, then 120 is likely to get hit, and then 40, and that may happen. That may happen much quicker than we think. So that's the monthly chart. I want to give you the big picture first, and then I want to share with you what I see overall on the weekly chart. This is the weekly chart. Two moving averages, a 50 moving average, and also a 200 moving average. So that 50 moving average should just be a 52. Obviously 52 weeks, that's probably what you know, the yearly moving average, as you can see. And you can see what's actually happening through here, right? We actually had this big run down, had this big run back up, and now we've actually ran down, and now we're slowly stepping up. For me, I'm looking at that, I'm saying, okay, that's actually quite weak overall. So again, I may be wrong here, guys. I may be wrong, but overall, what I'm seeing on this chart, and again, I'm actually in this position, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is when it comes to this particular trade. I can see this market stepping down, and then it rolled down through here, came back up, and now it failed through here, broke below this major support level, and now it's come back down to this level through here, the 200 level, and now it's finding a bit of support. But I look at that, I'm saying, okay, what's happening on the daily chart? The daily chart for me, I'm saying, okay, cool. Now, again, guys, just to let you know, I've been buying put options for quite some time. I bought some put options around about here. So I bought put options there. I bought put options up here, and I bought put options up here as well too. So I've been buying put options all the way up. Again, long-term options, and so I've basically been buying it up because I've been expecting a move down with Tesla, and obviously the moves come down, and I'm doing quite nice on it, but. Looking at Tesla now, what do you see? If you look at this market, it's actually swinging lower. It's actually becoming weak. Now, why I say that is this: is if I bring up say a black one, and let me just go with the width here. If you can see, the market's actually it actually had this big run up through here, and then we just slowly step down. Now you can see, look at this here, little swing, and so I'm expecting, look at that stochastics through there. I'm expecting maybe the stochastics get up a little bit more, and then we're likely to start swinging lower. So that to me, this swing here, this little swing here, for me right here, it's coming down, it's swinging back up, and it's already failing right now. So it may continue up a little bit more, but then the stochastics are going to get up here. To me, that's actually just a reversal signal, and then we have another little run to the downside. And I'm believing 150, even a lot lower. So I'm very, very long-term bearish on Tesla myself. So there we go, guys. That's what I see on Tesla overall. I do see, just by looking at the charts, I do see by looking at this thing here, I had this massive run up, and then we had this big, strong run down. And the thing that I look at this, guys, the thing that I look at this, and the reason why I'm even more bearish now than I have been when I'm buying the put options up here, because there was two things that were happening here. And then let me show you what I'm talking about here. The first thing is that we had these strong buys. So let me talk about this here. This is reading charts. You had this big strong buying move through there, and you can see how we had a bull flag through there. Look at that bull flag, and that bull flag would have taken 3 to 4 weeks of forming of that bull flag there. And now, if it was strong, it should have continued up, right? It didn't. It broke down. But what actually happened here? It broke down into these strong sellers, and now we're getting these weak buyers. What does that look like now? It looks like now a bear flag, right? And then down we should go. I mean, we should say, down we should go from here. So you can see by reading the price action that when you start to get these strong sellers, weak buyers and sellers, it starts to give you a bit of a read on what's actually happening here. Once again, if I go to this hit through here, you can see this big rundown, strong sellers. You had these weaker buyer periods through here. It broke down, and then we had this big drop down. I'm expecting this to happen again as well too. Yeah, so that's basically what I'm seeing there on overall Tesla, okay? So let's actually move on to my next stock, which is Toyota Motors. Toyota Motors is absolutely getting pummeled. So let me bring up and if my software loads, let's go and have a look at let's start off with the monthly chart here. We'll start off with the monthly chart line chart. And again, always looking at these line charts. Look at that big head and shoulder formation. Look what this is. Again, this is a monthly charts, guys. And look how weak this looks. You know, Toyota Motors looks really, really weak. First, you got this little shoulder, big head, right shoulder. I'm very, very bearish on this, and I have been for quite some time. I'm in this right now. Again, long-term put options as well for me. This is just directional stuff. Now, guys, I'm not telling you to go directional, but I'm just teaching you. I'm just showing you some. I do, as I said before, I've got WBS trades, which is like a non-directional trading, and I've got directional trades as well too. I'm just showing you ways and why I've got these long-term directional plays on. And you can see we actually broke this neckline through here. Now, if this head and shoulder forms out and plays out, well, what you do is, let's go from the neckline, and you go from there to there. So what is that? That's about, if we look at dollar points up from here to here, let's just take this 35. So we've got 10. So what's that? We've got $10, 10, 20, $25. So 20, you can see there. So $25. If we break that neckline, then we should be getting, which we have broken the neckline. We have, what's that? 10, 20, $25. So we actually have a target of around 80 to 85 on Toyota Motors, and possibly even more. Toyota Motors is actually going really, really bad. Like Toyota Motors and obviously we've heard the subprime crisis, or the auto loan subprime crisis, where they're just giving loans after loans after loans after loans out in the industry, and what's happening is a lot of the people that have been getting these loans, they're not really qualified, and they're defaulting, just like they did in 2008 with the property, and the property crash. So that's actually what you're seeing through there, and that's what a lot of people are saying that's happening in the industry right now. And if I squeeze this up as much as possible, you can see that even if I just draw a trend line back here from 86, then to me, guys, I really do believe that this long-term trend line of 70 to 85 is likely to get hit during over the next 12 months or so. So that's why I'm long-term bearish on Toyota Motors. But again, it doesn't mean it's going to go straight down. We've got the stair steps, we've got the swings, right? And so let me actually just show you this weekly chart. Again, 52 and the 200, the market's actually below both of them, and continue to stair step down, and the market's here right now. So getting very, very close to the support level. I didn't expect it to go straight down like that. If we do start to get into a crisis mode, then the market's going to be down here at 80 really, really quickly, this market here. So you can see what actually happened back in January this year. We actually had a big drop off. You can see what actually happened through here as well too, at the end of sort of September as well too. So you can see that's what's happening with Toyota Motors. And also on the daily chart, daily charts is much harder to read because you've got this gapping formation. But overall, if you squeeze this up, obviously, and you can look at the overall market. Obviously, we're overall heading down, and we're overall stair stepping down through here. Now, if I do my little pen here, you can see we have this peak, and you can see the low peak. So it's actually forming low peaks all over. Bit of support level down there. So I'm expecting that to be broken sometime soon, and a lot more downside to come. So that's what I do see there, guys, on overall on Toyota Motors. Let's go have a look at Google right now. Let's have a look at Google. Let's bring that up. All right. Let's hope my software loads this up. Let's bring up. We're going to load up. Load up. So let's have a look at Google right now. Man, my software's playing up. I had to pause that video for like 5 minutes for this thing to load up. Something's going on. Not sure if it's my internet connection. But looking at Google, one thing I do see with Google, guys, and again, I'm looking at the overall charts here. Let's have a look at, say, let's just go to the weekly line chart here. As you can see with this weekly line chart, we've had this big sort of sideways period, and then we exploded up. Big sideways period, exploded up. Big side side period, and it made a double top. So once again, if you look at that, and let me just bring up, say, this circle, you can see, or let's just go through line. You can see we went through this sideways period through here, exploded up new highs. Sideways period through here, exploded new highs. Sideways period through here, double top, broke down, and now it's running up and then rolling over. So that's, to me, as you can see, it's made, as you can see through here, it's made a double top. This is obviously the support line through here, and now it's actually just rolling over like that right now. So I'm expecting Google to be down here. Again, I'm long-term bearish on Google. So yeah, so I just see Google down a lot more, and especially by looking at this overall, this is the daily chart as well too. The overall daily chart, we can see what's happening through here. We can see that the market was bouncing off this level. You can see it through there. Now, if I draw another trend line through there, let's actually go to some from, say, last 6 months. We'll go 1 year. Yeah. So 1 year worth of data. You can see if I draw the exact same bottom point through there, and now I connect that up, that point up through there, you can see how the market is starting to not hold these levels going down. Holding, and then breaking down. And now, guess what we're doing now? Right now, we're actually holding this level. So you can see it's like a bit of like a GAN fan, where you got this market holding through here, and this market's bouncing off through here, and again, it's failing once again. And you can see how the market's just starting to slowly stair step down. Now, if I show you that on a line chart, you'll be able to see a bit more closer what I'm saying there. You can see, once again, it's failed up here a couple of times, and now it's starting to slowly stair step down again. It's had a couple of times attempting of breaking the 770, and it hasn't, and now it's actually starting to roll over. So I'm expecting 690, 680 to be broken. Lots of support around the 670. Once that gets broken, this is down. This market's heading down towards the 590, 600 level. On the Google. So there we go, guys. That's what I see on Google. And last but not least is Apple. Let me show you what I'm seeing on Apple overall. Again, let's just see if my software loads up as quick as I would hope it to do. Let's see if we can get this thing to load up. Let's get that one. It's in real time. All right. So, and let's have a look at Apple overall. So once again, we're going to have a look at Apple on the monthly chart first. Monthly sort of candlestick chart. Right now, we actually have lots and lots of support where we are right now. This 95 level back here is a big support level for this. We do have, let me see if I can, we do have like a big trend line coming down. My software is so playing up. We have this big trend, we have this sort of trend line coming down through there. You can see every time it's got up to there, we rejected it. But we are at this sort of major support levels through here. If I bring up my trend line, you can see that this overall major support level through there. Now, if I bring up this number 1, yeah, you can see what I'm talking about there. So this bring up this trend line through here. We've got this major support level here, major support. That's where we're at right now. If Apple breaks that, this is Apple's down at 55. So that's what you can see on there. But you can really see it on the chart as well too. Now, I was looking at this and I was watching Apple, and you can see it made a big head and shoulder, broke down, found support, ran back up, hit the resistance, and broke back down. Now it's running back up. I don't think we're going to hit this trend line. I think it's going to run up just a little bit more, maybe even get up to the 100 mark, and then roll over and then start heading down. I think personally, Apple has a lot more downside to go. Apple's just been getting hit for the last couple of months, and you can see overall it's just been continued overall step down. So any more move to the high side, I think Apple's likely to crush it and then break below the 90 mark. So, but it may come. There's a gap here to be filled, so that's actually something to be cautious of. You know, it may want to come and close that gap, but I reckon this market's too weak for this, and I think the market's likely to head down and continue on down. So there we go, guys. There's a little update on there's some stocks that I'm looking at personally and some thoughts around the stocks. I hope you understand that, I am in these trades myself. This is where my money, where my mouth is. And, you know, in 6 months time frame, you'll be able to come back to this video and say he was right on these stocks or he was wrong on these stocks, because this is what type of trades are. I'm in it until like September, October at the end of the year. Or even August, September, October, November, probably even September, October at the end of the year. This is where I'm in these trades. So we'll just see what happens with these options that I've got on these trades, but they're long term. And yeah, so anyway, guys, have a great day, and I'll speak to you next time. I'm not going to BS you here. Trading is hard. Over my 10 years of trading, I've learned some amazing systems and strategies, and I've put it all in my brand new Grab the Markets by the Balls course. And I'm giving you 100% free access. This whole course is 12 videos long and almost 10 hours of the best systems and strategies that I know. Click on the image below now to get 100% free access right now.